Thanks, Richard. Now, as we get older, we're ever more aware of our own mortality, but here in Britain it can seem almost impolite to talk about it. But healthcare professionals in Lincolnshire are now trying to break down those barriers. A universal questionnaire has now been devised with patient groups, patients and healthcare professionals. Now all older people will have some guidance on what decisions they need to make while they still can make them. I went to Scunthorpe's Lindsey Lodge Hospice to find out more. The world is changing. People live around 11 years longer than when the NHS started in 1948. The Trust continues to adapt to an increasingly elderly population, but now it's patients' attitudes that need to change.
People are living a lot longer and living with more complex conditions, which also has greater impact on how people are living. So having them to raise the discussions of how they see their future panning out is very important.
Death is a subject that makes most of us wince, but one that's now being put firmly on the agenda. All older patients in North and North East Lincolnshire are now being asked to complete advanced care plans, which clearly set out their final wishes.
Some of the questions, things like where they want to be cared for, where they want to be at the end of their life, you know, and their decisions that they can make, they've made them, that the family are aware of it, and because obviously it's all computerised, it gets the GP gets to know, their consultant gets to know that actually, yes, you know, this patient is dying, their preferred place of care is either to be at home or the hospice or wherever, you know, and it makes the decisions that think, yes, this is what they would want.
I think it's about forward planning. And it's not a document that should be just given to a patient and ask them to fill in. It's a document that needs to be done gradually with professionals, and also they can take away and discuss with their family members.
While it's not an easy subject to talk about, it's hoped that it could make those difficult final few moments a little bit easier for staff, the patient and their loved ones.
Most patients that we get, certainly, it's amazing how much they think about their families and about what's going to be left for them to do. You know, it amazes me how much courage some of our patients have, you know, because they are making these decisions. They, you know, you go sometimes and they're sitting talking about the funeral and what hymns they want, and you know, and I often think for myself, how would I be in that situation, you know? And I think it's a very big thing, and the amount of families that say, I'm so pleased we did that, because now, and then when the patient dies, they know exactly what they want. They haven't got the added distress of making decisions about, you know, what hymns to... I mean, I know it sounds little, but what hymns to have, and, you know, what music to have and what they want. That they've made those decisions. They know that they're fulfilling the wishes of their loved one at the end, and that's what's important.
The age of complex care for an ageing population is not a new one, and the idea of facing up to how we want to die is something we've already shied away from for far too long. But however unpleasant it may be, it's a conversation we all need to have. James Dunn, Estuary TV News.